Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. The impact, insight, or sales secret you need for massive impact is just moments away. It's time to get more clients. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down leads, lack client retention, conversion, and profit. The mission of this show is to share Fortune 500 sales secrets to help you open the vault to your greater business success. All right, let's talk about something that's been bugging me for a while now. Picture this. You're watching the Dart episode of Ted Lasso. So you all know the Dart episode. Remember Rupert? Yeah, that smug, self-assured character who just knows he's going to whoop Ted at darts because, why ask questions or show any curiosity? Except what happens? Rupert loses and loses spectacularly. All because he made assumptions instead of understanding his opponent's why. Yeah, plus he's a smug, SOB. So Rupert assumed Ted was inept without understanding Ted's hidden skills and motivations. Now, let's bring this back to reality, your reality, the landscape of small business. Like me, you're passionate about building long-term trusted relationships with your clients. You're not just in it for the quick buck, but for the lasting impact and mutual growth. Yet here's the kicker. Are you truly understanding your client's why? Or are you just assuming, like Rupert, and setting yourself up for a dartboard defeat? Let me share a little story from my own experience. Back in the day, I was working with a client who seemed to be satisfied with our services. I assumed we were meeting their needs perfectly. It wasn't until they decided to switch to a competitor that I realized my mistake, and too late. I had never asked them about their underlying motivations, needs, or goals. They never shared they were not happy with the paper we were printing their manuals on. Paper. You know how easy it is to change the paper? If I had been asking the right questions, I could and would have immediately made a change. My oversight cost dearly, and it was a hard lesson learned. I think the only plus was I learned it very early in my career, and it never happened again. Here's the thing. Understanding your client's why throughout the sales process. So this was after I had acquired the client and was actively working with them. So wherever you are in the sales process, it isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a business imperative, a strategy that must be woven into the fabric of your operations. Without this understanding, you're like a freight train on an old track, unable to transform into that adaptable hover train that can go wherever the passengers, your clients, desire. Last week, I shared why client thinking is key to your business growth. Today, we're going to understand even more. We're going to really dive into this because we're going to be discussing understand your client why to win more sales. Because that's what this is all about. Identifying your client why and incorporating your client's perspective is the most often missed puzzle piece. It's not about you, your product, or service. A little bit, of course, because, they've got to have need that solution, resolve that pain. It's all about, let's take that step back. It's all about your ideal client. I really want you to absorb this. All right. It's about them. They make the decision. Focusing on their perspective throughout your sales strategy will drive faster and stronger results. You will close more sales, get more clients. By the end of today's show, you will know how to gain clarity around what your client wants, needs, and lacks, digging into why it matters so they can achieve their goal, how to reverse engineer your why into your product or service. When you firmly shift your focus to your client's perspective, you position your business for consistent, repeatable, and scalable growth. Woo! So today we're going to work through an exercise to gain clarity on your client why. So grab your iPad, your pencil, or your pen, turn on your recorder, whatever you need to do. Let's start from your client's perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. Think like your client. Answer the following questions. Number 1, I am a fill in the blank. Are they a dentist? Are they a CPA? Are they a small business owner of a home kitchen remodel, for homeowners, right? Fill in the blank. Fill in everything you can about your ideal client. And I want to make sure you niche down. So even if your product or service can be used by anyone, let's say it could be used by anyone in HR, you have to focus on a specific target audience. Here's why. If you're selling to everyone, you're actually selling to no one because they don't see themselves in that audience. It's too broad. You've got to niche down so that they self-identify, that they recognize that you're speaking to them. So with that HR example, who are you speaking to? Are you speaking to HR directors within hospitals? That is, which is still a huge market, right? Well, is it even niche down further? Is it children's hospitals? When they see your content and hear your messaging, they're going to know that you're talking directly to them about their pain points and about what's going on in their world. That's the power of niching down. And it's so important because they can self-identify and recognize themselves in your communication. So number 2, I have a problem. It is fill in the blank. Now, this is where you really want to dive into what do they want, need, or lack. Because it may not be a problem necessarily. It could be an ongoing frustration. It could be something that they know is very ineffective and inefficient, and they're trying to figure out how to make it work better. There could be a lot of different things. But using that word as your main idea, what I have a problem, you need to think about what they want solved, right? What's the concern that they want to have addressed? What's the challenge they need to overcome? So this is the most important thing, is understanding what's driving them. What's the big thing that they want to get past, get over, get through? What is that thorn in their side that's keeping them up late at night, right? That's just always there. All right. Number 3, I am looking for, fill in the blank. I'm looking for what? Now you need to describe the solution they want. What does it look like? How will it be delivered? How long will it take? What will it make it look like? How will it be easy or simple? What will make it effective and efficient? What's the time constraints, the resources? How can it be a heavier lift, right? So that's easy for them to make a decision. I'm looking for. Why does this matter to them? What's in it for them? You've got to really dive into this point, really looking at their motivations. Why are they motivated to fix this? What are the emotions that are wrapped up in this? And if you're selling B2B, think beyond of what's going on in that business and how making this decision is a really good business decision for the organization, because their motivations aren't just about them. They're the motivations about how they can be making an impact in the organization and be recognized for that within the organization, right? I mean, this is really a key point. So what am I looking for? And number 4, this will help me buy. Okay. How will the solution benefit them? Right. So number 4, this will help me buy, fill in the blank, and this is not the features, right? This is the actual benefits. Does this mean that they're not going to have people coming into their office like a long line at at some kind of very popular takeout restaurant, constantly harping on about this problem? How is this going to benefit them by? Is it going to relieve a whole bunch of stress so that they can focus on their other tasks? Is it going to make the operation more effective and efficient, thereby saving their precious time, money, and resources? How will it create a positive impact for them personally and professionally? Right? So most things aren't just one or the other. Of course, it does depend on what you do. Remember, you got to frame this with your product or service, how you serve them. How is this going to create a positive impact for their business, their family, their community? So you've got to map this all out, really dive into how this is going to help them. Think about the fears that they may have about their business, or how this is going to be perceived within their organization if they make this change. You've got to address those fears about their family and the frustrations their family may have, and how that's impacting them in their work performance and in their personal life. So really dive into all the reasons your solution is going to benefit them. And this, once again, it's about what's in it for them and why does it matter. So always be working on this from your ideal client's perspective. All right. That's the key, your ideal client's perspective. Now, number 5, this is the whole thing. This is why they buy. So I can ... fill in the blank. So they can, so I can. I am the ideal client. So I can what? This is the big question. It really is. You really have to dive into what's that dream, the outcome they desire, the goal. What is it they want to achieve or accomplish? Think about it. When somebody buys a trip and they're going to go on a vacation, they're not buying the plane or buying that flight based on what plane it is. It's about where they're going, the destination that they're going to. So as you go through this exercise, these 5 steps, keep your specific niche client in sharp focus. Sometimes one of the things that can help is put a picture to them, have a picture of what this ideal client is with a brief description, and have that right in front of you. If you're working with your team and you're in a virtual setting, have it on the screen so that you're all looking at that ideal client as you're working through these 5 points. Now, once we've worked through this exercise, we're going to reverse engineer your work with these same 5 questions that we've covered, but now it's about your product and service. It's how you help and serve and create massive impact. And what you're going to be doing is mapping your client's perspective back to crack the code on how they can quickly understand what you do so that they will want to connect, that they're going to lean in, that they're going to know that this was about them, that they recognize in themselves and they are choosing to engage. Because this is how you do quickly attract and connect with your ideal clients. So we're going to go back through this. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to go back through all 5. You're going to answer the questions to reframe your message to match the outcome your clients desire. Now match your product or service and how it benefits that specific client need. It's all about answering what's in it for them. And remember, think about the benefits, those big things that they're going to achieve. So once again, who's this for? And now that you've already worked on this, you can probably better describe your niche audience, who you serve. Honestly, you will do a better job when you approach it this way, because now you really have them clearly in mind. Number 2, who want or need, fill in the blank. Who want or need what? You want to reframe your product or service to fit what your clients wants, needs, or lacks. Reframe the messaging, reframe the language so it makes sense to them, right? This is a really important. So you never want to make your product fit, right? It's not like you're going to take a square peg and pound it into a round hole. That's not the point. It's about connecting with your ideal clients who truly want and need your product or service where you can create massive impact. That is the key. Number 3, you provide, fill in the blank. Now, once again, now that you've gone through this exercise, you really have a much better feel for your client's perspective and where they're coming from, so you can readjust and pivot so that your language and your messaging, you're really hitting in on the things that matter to them. You want to position your solution to fit what your client is looking for. What does it look like? How will it be delivered? How long does it take? What makes it simple and easy? Number 4, I'm going to fill in that benefits them by ... What is that? That benefits them by. How does your product or service benefit your clients? Right? This isn't the feature. This is the benefit. Why does it matter to them, and what's the impact you deliver? This is so important because this is really getting right into the crux of where they recognize, they really truly capture that you understand where they're at and where they need to be. So they can, number 5, so they can ... fill in the blank. That's why they buy. So they can what? How do you get them from where they are to where they want to be? What's that dream destination? And what does it look like? What does it feel like? You want them to envision and feel that. You know, how do they feel when that goal, their goal, is achieved? When you wrap this all together, now you're speaking in your client's language. You're making it easy for them to self-direct that they want to connect with you, that they're interested in what you do. You make the whole beginning process of making that meet and greet and the opportunity to build rapport that much easier. Recognizing and acting upon your client's why is the equivalent to using Miracle-Gro in your flower boxes or having an in-depth conversation with somebody about, have they played darts? How often have they played darts? What's their skill level with darts? Right? So that you have a better idea of what you're doing before you even start the game. What was your biggest takeaway from this episode? I would love to hear about it. It's important to support the things you love. And if you loved this episode, a 5-star review really helps keep the show coming to you regularly. Also, if you want to get more sales strategies to grow your business, make sure you subscribe right now. Today, I explored understand your client why to win more sales. And the key is for you to implement these steps to stop wasting your time, energy, and resources. If you want to get results even faster, I invite you to download my sales strategy checklist at petitetoqueen.com/checklist. Next week on Get More Clients, I'll be discussing the secret power of interviewing prospects, existing and past clients. This has been Lynn Whitbeck, host of Get More Clients, and I will see you next time.